we take all complaints seriously because that impacts our level of public trust. That impacts our ability to have true community engagement to where we can provide public safety to the level we want to. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the complaint process. It can be confusing not only for the general public but for officers. And one of the things that we're trying to do is to ensure that we simplify that and explain it in a way that people can understand. This video is one of those ways.
If a person has an issue with the actions of an employee of the Minneapolis Police Department, there are many ways to file a complaint. Online, at your local precinct, by mail, or at the Minneapolis City Hall. Every complaint received is initially looked at by the commander of the Internal Affairs Unit and the civilian director of the Office of Police Conduct Review. In 2015, approximately 30% of cases were thrown out at this stage because they did not allege misconduct by a Minneapolis police officer, but rather another agency. From here, the joint supervisors have 4 options. 1, dismiss it. 2, send it through the coaching process, which can only be used for low-level violations like language or attitude. 3, mandate mediation between the officer and the complainant. Or 4, send the complaint to an investigation involving a civilian or sworn investigator. In cases where the OPCR had jurisdiction, in 2015, 70% were sent to investigation, coaching, or mediation. The approximately 30% dismissed lacked any basis to proceed, were duplicate complaints of those already filed, or were withdrawn by the complainant. When it comes to investigations, both sworn and civilian investigators look into complaints.
We want everything to be investigated in an exhaustive manner, meaning let's take a look at all angles, get information from witnesses, from the complainant, from all officers, let everybody have a voice in the process, to include civilian oversight in that process along the way to make sure that we're covering all of our bases. And that we show a complete and thorough investigation, not only for the community and the complainant, but also for the officer as well.
After the investigation is complete, it is sent back to the joint supervisors who review to make sure there was a thorough and complete investigation. Then it moves to the Police Conduct Review Panel, a panel of 2 lieutenants and 2 community members. Their job is to review the investigation and issue recommendations to the Chief of Police on the merits of allegations. The panel may vote that the evidence supports the allegations and therefore have merit, or that the allegations have no merit. The PCRP issued recommendations on 80 allegations in 2015, 41% of which were merit. All recommendations are then sent to the Office of the Chief of Police for final discipline decisions. In 2015, discipline issued by Chief Harteau consisted of training or coaching, written reprimand, suspension, restriction of off-duty employment, and termination.
It is meaningful action. It's a corrective action that's always meant to improve the performance of the employees, and the chief's made great strides in the past years at making sure that it is part of our culture of accountability and ensuring that we take complaints seriously, and when appropriate action needs to be taken, it will be taken.
We want to have an effective complaint process, and we take those seriously because we are an organization that is filled with professionals. We want to constantly make ourselves better. We want to build public trust and support, and we value community partnerships.